Are we live?
I think we are.
Cooking for a Cause is live. The Hardy Dars have just flown over, so we know the shit's about to hit the fan, literally. But it's so lucky to have you all with us. We're so excited. The contestants have just started. We have given them the countdown. I can't even talk properly. We've given them the countdown. I'm so excited. Let me just tell you.
You really are.
I know.
I'm just excited because I'm finally inside a kitchen that, along with all of you watching right now, we feel like we've become a part of this space. And when I walked in here this afternoon, I was like, this is where the magic has been happening. Where's Carlos the dog? Where is Joey, the Joey Flowers? Where is Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
You know, your right-hand woman.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly.
So it's quite magical to be here for David Higgs's hashtag Cooking for a Cause. Now, I know a lot of you probably think, oh, Marcel, we know you're there for the food, and you would be right. But I'm also here. If you think it's difficult to say no to David's food, it's even more difficult to say no to David when he's got a bee in his bonnet about a fantastic cause. And we know that this is a man who blood, sweat, and tears will get behind a good cause. And that's exactly what he's done for the Inner City Can Collective.
Exactly. And why are we doing all these ridiculous things? And why are all these people in my house? And it really is. When we started with lockdown, the focus has always been on our team and our staff, and most of my team live down in the inner city, and my focus really has been to be able to support not only my team but that whole inner city community, and that's why we're doing this. So, yeah.
And we're here for a cooking show, and I know that sounds very fancy. We're all used to watching these very well produced, fancy put together things that have had months in production to prepare. If you know anything about David Higgs's kitchen during lockdown, that's not what you're going to get today. There are going to be earpieces that fall out. There might be some swear words along the way. You see the earpieces just fallen out on cue. I mean, I had to do my own makeup. I think David's got more product in his hair than I do.
Yes.
But go along with us for the ride. This is going to be fun. And I think that's the one thing that you've brought across over the last few months, where you've welcomed us all into your kitchen, is that cooking and feeding your loved ones is fun.
Yep.
And during this time, we need that love language, which is food, and we really needed the fun that you've allowed us to express in the kitchen as well.
100%. So, guys, we're going to get straight into it. Basically, what the team have got, they've had food delivered to them, product delivered to them, from suppliers that are quite close to my heart. You know, guys that have been supplying me for years since I got to Joburg. So, Urban Foods, Fasili and the team. We've got Chris from Bull and Bush, who supply all the meat to me. We've got a La Marina that do all the specialty product, fish, seafood. So all of that food has arrived, and
There they go.
Hey, the Hardys.
Listen, I thought that you were making it up. Every time you've been on social media and the Hardy Dars are at it, I said, you know what, David, you're really overselling this.
Listen, they're about to come into the kitchen here.
Listen to them. So you're talking about the Hardy Dars, and out of the corner of my eye, we've got Carlos, your poor bulldog.
Oh, look at him.
He's giving us the dirty eyeball because he's been banished to the garden just for a couple of hours. But he's well taken care of, he's warm and that kind of thing.
No,
but like you've just said, we're all here for a fantastic cause, but not possible without the food partners, which you have come to know so well over the last few years of building your beautiful restaurants over the last few years. And then on top of that, we've got some very important partners for this hashtag Cooking for a Cause, so that we can really get behind this Inner City Can Collective. You'll hear about them throughout today's show, the next 4 or 5 shows as well. Aga Stoves is one of the very, very passionate partners, along with Food Lovers Eatery, Seattle Coffee, as well as Fatties and Monies. They've got a brand spanking new premium brand called Bellissima. Bellissima, which has come. I mean, that doesn't make you want to cook pasta. I don't know what will.
Exactly.
And he's just gone to the fridge.
No, I'm thirsty. So listen. Just before I start drinking, I just want to say, so what the contestants have got for this first hour, we're going to talk through the product in a minute. But what they have to do in this hour, my favorite meal of the day and one of my favorite things to cook are eggs. And this you all know if you've been watching.
Isn't that what started it all off?
Yeah.
When lockdown started and you started doing these lives,
made an omelette.
You made an omelette.
Yeah.
And people went crazy for this omelette. I've never seen so many omelettes being made. And it's all because of you.
So basically what they have to do is they have to create a breakfasty brunch kind of a dish for me. The amazing thing is that it's going to be picked up at 7 o'clock and it's going to be delivered to me, and I'm going to be been going to be judging it, and
Listen,
so it's pretty
this
cool.
is just an excuse. So some people are lazy for cooking now. They've had enough of the cooking.
I'm going to go work.
This
I'm
is
taking the wine with me.
Opening up a bottle of Mum, which would be nicely provided to this one. So hopefully that's why we've got an hour show. Because if the show was for more than an hour, who knows where we would end up. So David is taking up the position closer to where he'll be cooking as well. And as we have started speaking and telling you what we're doing, hoppa.
Sorry, chaps. It's all good. Everything's under control.
But David,
Yo.
I was told that in fancy fine dining places, you're not supposed to let...
This is not a
cork
fancy
pop.
fine dining place.
Okay, yeah, you've got a point. Okay, you've got a point. Because that's how we all like to do it. Because if you're opening a fancy bottle of champagne, you need to let the neighbors know that's what you're
exactly.
doing, right?
The cork went into the neighbors.
So while he prepares to cook, may all the forces of nature be with us after a bottle of those. I won't be indulging. I'm up very early for my day job when I'm bringing you all the news and what you need to know. While we've been speaking, when the clock struck 6 o'clock, our 4 intrepid contestants had already started cooking. We chatted to them beforehand. Does everybody know what they have, all the ingredients, what you need to do, what you're being judged on? So at 6 o'clock, they started cooking and we started talking nonsense to tell you what we're going to be about and who's involved and who's making this great initiative in aid of the Inner City Can Collective possible. So he's going to start with the same batch of ingredients that they have. Did we go through the batch of ingredients yet?
But I think you chat to the contestants.
Yeah, we'll do that afterwards. So he's busy with avocado. Hey, life is good in the David Higgs household because, if you can cook with avocados and times are going okay. So our contestants will be cooking with the exact same ingredients that have been provided by our wonderful food partners as well. And why don't we get to know them a little better? Just so you know who we're dealing with. We've got some great characters who love food. Some of them have some experience in food, some not. We've got Nigel Zinn, we've got Sarah Williams, we've got Marlene Reddy, and we've got Sia Qabanisa, who are all our 4 contestants. And you'll be able to see them on the screen throughout this hour. You can see them right there on your screen. We've got Marlene Reddy in the top screen. We have got right at the bottom, we've got Sia Qabanisa. He's busy. Just above him is Nigel Zinn. And then just below Marlene and between her and Nigel, we've got Sarah Williams, who is also picking up a storm. So how about we start crossing to them so we can get to know them. Part of the judging process is not just the food and the plating and the great knife skills and techniques that you have in whatever you're going to be doing with the avocado and the poached eggs and the bacon and the kippers and whatever else you're going to use. It's also about what charisma and what gees you are bringing to the kitchen for #cooking for a cause, because that's really what it's all about. One of the great things, David, over the lockdown has been how South Africans have really come together to support each other in these really, really tough times that we're living in. Listen, look at how we're showing off here now. Is that a threat or what is that?
No, I think it's exactly what you say. I think the amount of people that have sort of gathered in this community, this
Absolutely.
food community, and shared stuff. And what's awesome is when you're chatting on Insta Live and when you see how people are talking to each other. There's this little community where people know each other and they chat. And I got back from my
And some of them only
cycling.
know each other on social media.
No, absolutely. And I got back from my cycling trip and all of a sudden this community came together again and there they were all on the platform chatting and it's very special.
And those are people who are supportive of the food industry, but then you have people like David involved in the food industry who've gone through very difficult times, but it hasn't stopped them from helping those in need. We saw some amazing work being done by David's colleagues in the business down in Franschhoek, where they started great charity drives and food drives.
And the team,
Absolutely. So anyways, that's all of what's happened over the last few months as we've gotten to know the people who are really driving our wonderful food industry in South Africa. But in support of that, we've got food lovers, and 4 of them are involved as our contestants in #cooking for a cause. So why don't we get to know them a little better? I think let's start off with Marlene Reddy, who's right at the top of your screens. As you're watching now, you'll see her pop up. She's one of the people who's really put her hands up. When we called 4 contestants to take part, she was one of the first people to send through a profile, an example of her food, and she was selected to be one of the 4 contestants in our very first inaugural episode.
The inaugural.
Of #cooking for a cause. So over the last week or so, I think it was around Monday, Tuesday, David sent out what we call a call to action. And that is exactly what it is. We made a call out to people who fancy themselves in the kitchen. Let us know why you want to be a part of that. And they had to send you pictures of their food, didn't you?
So basically what happened was we gave you a list of ingredients and you had to create a plate with that. And we judged basically on those criteria and the look of what I got.
And one of them was Marlene Reddy, who you'll see up on your screen right now.
Nice kitchen, Marlene.
Listen, and also so organized and shiny and clean and together. Marlene, sorry to take you away from your very important cooking. You only have an hour. We know that already. But you come from the events world. You live out in Morningside. You're the events director for Mrs. SA. But also, you were in 2016, you were runner-up in the Mrs. SA competition. So a beauty with brains who loves to cook as well. How big of a passion is that in your very busy life?
I come from hi Marcel, hi David,
hi
everyone as well. I come from a mixed background. Part of my family is Portuguese, part of my family is Indian. So, we socialize and we get together and we spend time as a family around food. So it's
a proper South African biryani pot.
No, for sure. How is that for a combination, Indian and Portuguese? My two favorites.
Awesome. Right?
Yeah, it's proper mixed masala here.
Absolutely. It reminds me of big news this week is the announcement of the person running for vice president in America is Kamala Harris. And her parents are Jamaican and Indian. And apparently she loves cooking. So you can imagine what her kitchen is like. So that's Marlene Reddy in Morningside giving us an idea of what she's about. Mrs. SA events director on top of the glamorous side of the world, but just as at home in the kitchen. And apparently, according to her profile, she loves pedicures and champagne. So that's going to be interesting to find out. And look at her with the champagne. She looks as cool as a cucumber, not stressing at all.
No. Marlene, get cooking. You're making me nervous. Please.
Okay, so let's move on from Marlene. Let's go to our next contestant, Sarah Williams. Now, Sarah's profile really caught my eye. Sarah comes from a line of chefs. Her father and unfortunately a late brother were chefs, and they ran a restaurant school, a chef school, and a restaurant in the Northern Cape. And we all know, the Northern Cape is one of my favorite parts of the world.
Absolutely.
You just showed us a part of it when you did your trip for Inner City Can Collective down to the Knysna area. Just part of the heart and soul of South Africa is the Northern Cape. And Sarah, that's a big part of your heritage, isn't it? You didn't go into the food world professionally, but it's still a big part of your passion. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of been one of those things that I was like, I don't think I can work in a restaurant because I've got kids and I love the family life, but there's some way, somehow I've got to make it happen. So, yeah.
And you've got some very impressive looking sous chefs there next to you. Introduce them to us.
Yeah, this is Logan.
Logan, yes.
Yeah. I have another, the cleaner's behind the scenes in front of me over there.
So, but are they doing all the dirty work for you right now?
Yeah, always. All the cleaning, all the shop. Yeah, they're the prompt eaters.
Okay, we won't tell them that's what you just said. Okay, we're going to leave Sarah to it. A little later on, we'll go back to our contestants just to find out what they're making. Maybe some of them haven't decided just yet. We're going to go on to our next one now. Let's go to Sia Kabanisa. His Instagram handle, him and his partner's name is Petiwe. They've got an Instagram page called Bold Flavors. Now, if that's, talk about putting your hands up and saying, watch me go for #cooking with a cause. Sia Kabanisa is apparently the guy to watch for those bold flavors. Sia, you love food, but you also love a good cause, don't you?
I do love food. The birth, I would say, came from me living alone as a bachelor student. I hated takeouts, so I was like, let me start cooking. However, in the same vein, I never really wanted to pursue the whole restaurant angle. It just looked too stressful, kind of like what's happening now.
Yeah, my friend.
But yeah,
that was I'm going to interrupt you there for 1 second.
For sure.
I'm going to interrupt you there for that. You made a very good call, my friend. by not entering the restaurant industry.
I'd rather invest in one rather than be operationally involved in one.
Now, see, a very interesting story about you today is the fact that because of load shedding, I mean, you know, part and parcel of our daily lives, unfortunately, in South Africa at the moment, and you were worried that that would have an impact on your cook today. But you made a plan, didn't you? Even though your house, your own house was scheduled for load shedding.
You can't see it now. What's happening is we've actually, or at least I've opened up the box for the first time at 6 o'clock.
What?
No,
So
man,
I'm kind of like working it out as I'm going. I had a plan last night. I'm still sticking to it. So yeah, deal with the punches as it go. We haven't had a great day today.
Sia, you're going to make me drink heavily, my friend. You need to get in there. Okay.
Have a glass of wine.
I like it.
But now, Sia, so is it true that because there was load shedding coming from your neighborhood, you decided that you...
Correct.
So where are you cooking from right now?
Yes, so in Rosebank, because I found out that Dave stays in Parkview.
So get it to me
I
quickly.
booked something this afternoon. So yeah.
So you're cooking from an Airbnb or a guest house at the moment?
Correct. It's an Airbnb, bookings.com self-catering apartment. So I'm also trying to work where all the crockery is. It's quite
Yeah. So not only has he just opened up his box, he's also trying to figure out where's the knife, where's the
How do you switch on the stove?
It's okay. I'm gonna survive. I'm telling you.
Let's see. We're gonna leave you, my friend.
Yeah.
Please.
No, listen, he looks like he's still like figuring out this is what I'm going to do with the sweet potato. Do I need the arrow or don't I need the arrow?
No, making me way too nervous.
So that's Sia Kobanisa. I'm going to be very interested to see what he's come up with. And I think the last guy we need to cross to.
Check the time already. Check the time already.
We've got 45 minutes to go.
45 minutes to go, guys.
Time sure fly. Listen, and I can talk a lot, eh? So I thought an hour was going to fly, and I think it will. Actually, so bear with us. Nigel Zinn also has a bit of a foodie background. He is our last contestant that we're crossing to right now. Die deur is oop. He's in Weltevreden Park in Rodepoort. So the neighbors even know that he's either cooking bacon or the neighbors are probably saying, but it's 7 o'clock at night. Why is Nigel cooking kippers or bacon or whatever he's
and
decided?
Why is Nigel talking to himself?
Exactly.
Oh, there's the whole family. Hey, guys.
There we go. Everybody's getting in on it. Nigel, tell us who's part of your Cooking for a Cause team there.
Yeah. Tell us the team.
That help me do everything. Mainly a lot of washing in the kitchen as well. A lot of washing is good. But we've got Aiden here, we've got Jason, and we've got my wife Shirley.
Hi, everybody.
So,
Hey, Shirley.
Aiden's off. He wants to go and watch me on TV instead.
Listen, I think Shirley's taking the right approach tonight. You're taking part in #Cooking for a Cause. She's taking part in a bottle of wine. So she's my kind of lady. And she's made very good life choices.
We're with you.
The nerves are helping. The wine is helping with the nerves.
So Nigel, you've because of lockdown and lots of people have had to turn things around and do things a little bit differently because of this pandemic we're living through with the rest of the world. You've decided to open yourself a little food business in Rodepoort.
Yes, yeah. So at the beginning of lockdown, I had actually just been retrenched from another job. Times are tough around all over for everybody. So anyway, as I was interviewing for new positions in the hospitality industry, lockdown hit and those positions were put on hold. So you can't sit back and wait. I mean, I think we were all hoping only for 3 weeks when old Cyril said lockdown for 3 weeks. We all had a major panic attack for 3 weeks. But look at it, how many, we're nearly 6 months down and a lot of hardship, but we're surviving. So anyway, I took the initiative, 6 weeks ago, actually, because I did 1 or 2 things in between to open up a little business that does restaurant quality meals delivered to your door. Yeah, so I'm servicing my community.
Well done, my friend. Well done.
Thanks, man.
Listen,
thanks.
we're going to leave you, back because you need to start cooking.
Okay, yeah.
He started drinking, that I know.
Yeah, I know. You're making me nervous here. Everybody's making me nervous.
So that's Nigel Zinn. You can see he's cooking with gas, as they say in the classics there in the Rodepoort, and looks very at home and comfortable in his kitchen. And what's amazing about all of this, just like you've welcomed us into your kitchen over the last few months, these contestants are all welcoming all our viewers.
Yeah, I love it.
And I think some of them are going to regret that they didn't actually enter to take part in this. So if you're watching, and you say, but I could take on Nigel, I could take on Marlene. Sorry for you, hey? But thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, we're entertaining and maybe give you some inspiration for brunch tomorrow as well. So now, David,
Yes.
we know that they're all cooking. They're
Exactly.
doing their thing. Some are drinking champagne, some are drinking wine.
People are taking it easy.
Listen, I think people have really learned important lessons from you,
Do you think?
over the last few months during lockdown. You have to create the right atmosphere.
Well, it is.
You know,
Well, it
and
is.
if we can support our wine farms in the process,
Yeah.
then so be it. What have you decided to do with the ingredients? Because just a reminder, if
Okay.
people have joined us later, David tonight is cooking with the exact same ingredients that our contestants are cooking in. In fact, he selected it, which might be an unfair advantage,
No.
but he has to now cook with the same ingredients.
Excellent.
So what have you decided to do?
Okay, so Marcel, so basically,
Okay.
there's people talking now. Yes, what's going on? I'm not
Keep
used to
going.
this. I'm used to just talking to my phone. Okay, so I'll talk them through. You go sort your microphone out. I
Yeah,
think.
gooi. So
Okay.
tell them what they're doing. I'm
Yeah.
listening with a half a ear.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Exactly.
What are you going to do with the avo?
And I'm going to burn it. Okay, so guys, so basically what I've got is I've got the avo. I've just sliced the avo like this, and I'm going to, instead of doing it in the pan, because I'm doing a lot of stuff in the pan, I want to try and keep it healthy. I don't want to add any more oil and stuff to this. I'm just going to give it a nice little crispy top. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, and possibly a bit of spice onto that. So we've got the avo. What I've done is I've just blanched this, properly blanched it, boiled it. The sweet potato, but really, really soft. And I'm going to finish that off in a non-stick pan just to give it some nice color. So instead of bread, I'm just going with a lovely little bit of sweet potato. So no carbs or anything added to. Well, no bread, processed carbs added to that. So I've got my lovely sweet potatoes that are going to crisp up. Look at this specimen. I should have been a chef, folks. Honestly, look at the specimen of a poached egg, eh? But this again is only because I've got really good quality product delivered from my supplier. So I've got a poached egg. I'm going to poach one now, so I'll show you guys how to do that. A little bit of mushroom, some basil, thyme, and I've got some fresh tomato. The other little sneaky thing that I've got, you get these lovely bacon rashers that, or pork rashers that are smoked at the moment. These are nice and thin. I've cut the rind off them, and I've sprinkled it with a little bit of brown sugar and chili, and I'm going to pop that into the oven. I'm going to put that in the oven now. Actually, I'm going to roast that through, sort of roast grill it. So it's that sugar, it goes crispy, it goes sweet, the salty bacon, the chili on the top, the poached egg, the sweet potato, and the lovely fresh herbs to go with it. So that's essentially where I am. So I'm going to start off by putting the bacon in the oven. What we're also going to do is we're going to go back to the guest chefs just now. And we're going to actually find out what they are cooking, just to give us an idea of where we are.
You just want to cross to them to check if you've got any real competition.
Yeah,
That's what you want
basically.
to do. Because this is pretty fancy. I mean, I've always thought that bacon is the perfect thing. You don't have to do anything to it. But now you're going to actually add. It's just going to be delicious.
No, but you see exactly. So a couple of weeks ago on the cocktail hour, I did this cocktail, and I wanted to serve something lekker on the side, you know. So I got the recipe for this bacon that you sprinkled in with sugar and chili.
Is that a recipe though?
No, it's not
or
really a
is it
recipe.
somebody who woke up really hungover the next day and said,
But that's exactly what happened. So yeah. Anyway, so that was that, and it's such a lekker thing, and it just gives that bacon just a little bit of a I don't know, you know, it just gives it a little bit of an extra.
That's the beauty of
extra.
bacon, isn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah.
savory that you can add sweet to, and it's just the most amazing thing.
No,
isn't it?
no, and with anything,
Absolutely.
bacon with anything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's
Anyway.
a gift that keeps giving.
It is,
But now
it
also
is.
just to tell people, maybe keeping an eye, you know, you've got people watching who's like, oh, but the rules, why does a sweet potato look cooked? The
Yes.
rules that you gave our contestants is there are certain things that you could do some pre-prep for.
They allowed a pre-prep. You know, things like sweet potato you can't cook in an hour.
No, you can't.
And they got the ingredients this afternoon, so I mean they could have a look about what they were doing. And
But Sia, of course, ignored that.
yes,
And decided
Sia
he's
was-
opening the box at 6 o'clock
No,
as
absolutely.
we've counted down
Sia
to it.
even relocated. I'm surprised he's still in the country.
He might want to leave the
Loves
country
the
after
yeah,
this.
exactly.
When the borders open up again,
Loves a bit of a challenge.
as
so
it
yeah.
were.
So basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly add. I'm going to start browning off my sweet potato, because what I can do once that. The other thing that people do when they cook is they try and finish everything at once. Like a sweet potato, all you need to do, we got 35 minutes to go. Brown it in the pan, pop it in the oven, and leave it alone. Make sure the oven's not too hot.
But you're now teaching us little tricks from the professional
Yeah,
kitchens,
see,
because
so-
I'm
just
always
behind it.
amazed when like you're sitting at a table with people at a restaurant, one of yours or whoever, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, how are they going to bring it all out at the same time? And alles is lekker warm and perfect.
Exactly, but that is the thing. Planning is everything. You can see I've got my poached egg ready. Everything is cut. Everything's ready. All I have to do is pop it into the pan and put it on the plate and present it. I mean, it's really not that.
My mother
not
calls that time and motion.
Time and motion. She's right.
So it's about
Is she watching?
no, of course she's watching. They've got nothing else to do, and she adores you. It was like, oh, you know, David made this haddock mac and David voor and after. I'm like, who are you talking about? Because I thought she's talking about somebody we know.
I got.
So my mother indeed is watching. I'm pretty sure she's not the only person watching.
No.
But she would always, because I'd say to her, how do you get this all done at the same time? Time and motion, my girl. Time and motion. So that's what you're busy with now.
Thanks, Ma, for the kusister recipe.
With credit to Fatima Saidos.
Exactly.
You know, these aunties have become quite with it on Instagram now because they know who to credit and that kind of thing as well. So there we go. Listen to that.
Hey, so the sweet potato goes in. We're gonna season the sweet potato just with a bit of salt. I'm gonna go in with a bit of black pepper. Okay, my water is boiling for my poached egg. Now, guys, with a poached egg, and I know we've spoken a lot about poached eggs and stuff, but with a poached egg, the first and foremost thing, the thing that is most important is that the egg is fresh. Because if the egg is not fresh, it's really not gonna work.
So basically, when people saying, "Oh, I failed poach, it's too difficult," yo, eiers is out.
Net so. Yeah. What next? Listen, like I'm so used to just talking to my telephone. Now there's cameras everywhere. Anyway, so long story short, I've got my egg here. It's nice and fresh. The water must not be boiling rapidly. The water is like a slow sort of boil, and what you do is you add a touch of vinegar to that, and then what it does, it helps coagulate those egg whites. But if the egg's not fresh, what happens, Mark? It goes into this.
Yeah, I've had one of those.
Exactly, the story.
But now
anyway.
I'm not going to have an excuse because people are going to say, you were in the kitchen with David Higgs and he showed you how to make a poached egg.
The other thing that you have to do is you have to.
So now while we're keeping an eye on, if you want one more lesson in how to make a poached egg, because I know people have attempted it during lockdown, what people are seeing on their screen is they're watching you with a poached egg. You can also see our contestants who are busy. And our contestants, I'd like you, all four of you, to know you've got 33.5 minutes left on the clock. So Marlene, Nigel, Sarah, and Sia, you've got 33 minutes. David, he's made some progress. I still haven't seen what protein he's using yet, but
the bacon is in the oven. What are you talking about?
Word die bacon. Die spek. Is die spek?
Die spek,
ja. Is daai hoe mense dit sê, die spek. So that is happening in the stove as we speak, and the poached egg is going now, David, isn't it?
The poached egg is in. There's my one I did a little bit earlier, just in case. I'm going to get my mushroom in with my thyme. I'm going to do that in a second. But what I want to do is I want to get that sweet potato into the oven, just so they can warm through. But you can see what I'm doing here is straight away it's got some lovely caramel colors.
Listen, you've taught me. You're really teaching me something new because I've never thought about sweet potato as well. So that's a view of the stove right now as we're seeing. And of course, speaking of stoves, it allows us to again acknowledge our partners.
Please.
Arga Stove, one of our fantastic partners involved with hashtag Cooking for a Cause. If you've just tuned in, Cooking for a Cause with David Higgs is very much trying to raise awareness for the wonderful work being done by the Inner City Can Collective, and along with them we've got Food Lovers Eatery, Seattle Coffee, and the wonderful people at Fatty Zamoni's, their new premium pasta called Bellissima. And Bellissima, listen, I'm looking at those sweet potatoes, and that's a new thing that I've picked up on. I've never thought, because when you said, excuse me, you said you're going to do sweet potato.
Yeah.
I immediately said to you, oh, you're going to make a rosti, right? Because branch, rosti, blah, blah, blah. But this is something new, and it's so simple.
But it is very simple, and I think that's what I'm just sprinkling a little bit of paprika on here, just for that nice smoky flavour. It's going to complement that bacon quite.
You're going to cook this?
No. All I'm going to do is
Guys, you're going to cook this. An avo. But there's a school of thought, people who don't like pineapple and people who don't like avo on pizza.
Yeah.
But you don't cook it. You don't put heat on avo. Then what are you doing?
This is the thing. But now we don't heat it up. It's nice and cold on the inside still, but we give it that lovely glaze sort of colour now.
But it smells so good though.
It does, eh? So there's a bit of paprika on there, a bit of salt, celery salt I put on there.
Because avos are not cheap. How do you figure out, I know what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to put a very hot flame on this avo, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be delicious.
No, look, I mean, I have done this before.
Don't
it's
lie.
It's not a new thing, but it just gives a slightly different edge. You know, it's slightly warm on the outside, so it's quite lekker. Anyway, so there we.
Listen, now I've
there
seen
we have
everything. Who takes a flame to a perfectly
No,
good
no,
avo?
no.
But it smells good, so
No,
you
it
know.
does smell good.
Your avo,
And then-
your circus, your
Exactly,
avo.
exactly. Look at this. Look at those. Just look at that. I don't know if you can see that. I'm sure you can.
And you didn't put any
Just-
sugar on that, did
There's
you?
no sugar on
No
that.
sugar.
It's sweet enough, you know.
Because you know there are aunties and tannies in South Africa who love to put sugar on a sweet potato.
Yeah, I tell you.
Listen, and there's
And
nothing
custard.
wrong with that.
No,
Ooh,
no, no,
You can
and
have it as a
custard.
pudding. And that's
Yeah, yeah.
going into the oven.
So that goes into the oven, and what I'm going to do now, I just want to show you this just before we carry on, because after this, then I'm pretty much done. So I'm going to take
And then we're going to find out how our contestants are. What
half
did you call
an
them?
hour. Check it out. Half an hour.
30 minutes, 30 minutes on the dot. Guys, get ready. The spotlight's going to fall on you shortly. David's going like a Boeing here.
Yeah,
and he's
we want to
taking
know
out
what's
the butter.
Yeah, you know things are going to happen when the butter comes out. Anyway, so just when you're cooking a steak, for instance, when you cook mushrooms, the same principle applies. So a little bit of actually, I've got a bit of. Ek het 'n bietjie knoffel hier, hè. Daar's my.
And just for those watching, yes, but that wasn't in the box for the contestants. You did say
Yes.
you can use whatever you
Please.
have in the kitchen in terms of, oh, father, daar gaat die knoffel. It's
all
raining
happening.
garlic.
It's all happening.
It's got the shell on it.
Okay, so basically, as I said, the same principle allows. So basically what we do, we drop the butter into the pan with a little bit of fresh thyme, okay, and the garlic.
Oh, that's
And
the
just like
best
that.
combination.
And then you can just smell it. Okay, and
Okay,
then
but
what
they
we
can't
do,
smell it through the camera.
No, but
We're
they
not
can.
that advanced yet.
there's new apps. There's new apps
Oh,
for that.
that smell, guys. Mm.
And then the mushroom, I've just trimmed that mushroom down. Okay. And we're going to cook that mushroom. Fresh tomato. I don't like cooking my tomato. We're going to add some fresh tomato with that. And we'll finish it off with some basil. I'm actually going to put the basil onto that tomato.
I quite
And
like a fresh
basically-
tomato. If everything
ba-
else is being cooked, it's nice to have
Yeah.
that freshness of a
Just
nice, ripe, fresh
clean.
tomato.
Oh, my eiers.
Well, okay, on that note, okay, so while he prepares for that, we're just going to take a quick breather, and after that, we are going to go and check in on our guest chefs, as David calls them, after he's gone and saved his eiers. Thank goodness for that.
Nice, nice.
Yes. Right, welcome back. You're watching David
When
Higgs.
did I, eh?
Hashtag. Yeah,
Sorry.
You can see. You know when the man says action and David starts talking about whatever you're seeing on the screen. No, honestly,
Sorry.
you just ruined my lovely introduction to the
so
amazing
sorry.
work. I mean, if somebody can do a work of art with a tomato and a few basil leaves, and he put a flame. If you just joined us, you just missed David Higgs. You know, a renowned South African chef put a flame on a fresh avocado. I mean, we're gonna see how that's gonna go. And he's doing it all in his Reach for a Dream
Hey?
slippers.
Where are we? Can we see? Where's
We've
the
gotten to
camera?
know these slippers already during lockdown. Do they have names yet?
So this is the Toy Story slippers. I
Yes,
don't,
they
I don't know who
are.
I don't know what the name is of these guys, but
They're the guys that are in the machine with a claw, I think.
oh, is it?
Why do I know that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why. I know that. But you're cooking with all, I mean, normally chefs are very, you're very particular about the footwear that you wear in kitchens because you're on your
Birkies.
foot for your feet for
Birkies.
hours, right?
Birkenstocks.
And not Crocs.
No, not Crocs.
You can admit if you
Let's
wear
see
Crocs,
what,
it's
let's
fine.
see what the guests are doing.
Don't change the subject. I know you own, David, I'm sure David owns Crocs, even though he likes to see himself as a bit of a fashionista, as you can tell.
Stop it.
Paul Smith is turning in his grave looking at what you've done with the jacket. Right, so that's what's happening in the kitchen. He's put brown sugar and chili on perfectly fine bacon, and that's gone into the oven. And there's sweet potato and avo, and he is cooking with the same ingredients. If you've just joined us, you're on David Higgs, hashtag cooking for a cause, all in aid of the wonderful work being done by the Inner City Can Collective. He has sent the same ingredients from the wonderful food partners to our 4 intrepid contestants who thought that they could take on David Higgs, and they would be right, because I'm not sure about the flame on the avocado. We've got Nigel Zinn, we've got Sarah Williams, we've got Marlene Reddy, and we've got Sia Qabanisa, who are cooking up a storm along with the same ingredients that David has behind him, and they could pick whatever ingredients they wanted. They're obviously going to be judged on flavor, on technique, on the combinations that they've come up with. They will be sending their plates when the hour is up at 7 o'clock. Their food dishes will be picked up and brought to us by Mr. Foodie, who will be brought over to David. David will be able to taste it, judge them, and then the winners will be announced on Monday on David's
On Monday?
on Monday.
Yeah, very cool.
On your Instagram.
You have to wait the whole weekend.
He's become the content king, food content king of lockdown, has David Higgs. So on Monday you'll have something to look forward to. So he's judging on the food, but he's also judging on the presence and the gears in the kitchens of our contestants. And you can see them on your screen right now. And we're going to just pop in by all of those kitchens. This is wonderful, be able to pop into people's kitchens and find out. It's basically virtually lifting somebody's pot and peering in there. So let's lift up the pot on Marlene Reddy's pot. We heard a little bit about her a little bit earlier, and she's in the events world. She's the events director for Mrs. SA. She was also a runner-up in the competition. She loves champagne. She loves the finer things in life. But just as at home, she is in the kitchen. Marlene, what did you decide to do with the ingredients tonight?
Breakfast is one of our favorite things, definitely on the weekend as well when we get to sleep in late. So my partner and I get into my son. So I'm definitely brunch inspired today. Keeping it simple.
So what did you do? What have you done with the ingredients tonight?
Well, I'm making a potato roasty with some bacon. I've grilled off the kippers. I've poached my eggs with the tomatoes. I've made a bit of a spicy curry inspired.
Here we go.
Love it. Love it.
And then, I'm keeping it simple and clean, and my mushrooms just thyme and garlic, and it's just assemble and enjoy.
You see, there you go. Listen, tell me, has this dish got a name?
Not yet, but it would have to be something, maybe Spice Up Your Life, something like that.
Spice Up Your Life. Hey, there's a song like that. Sorry.
Yeah, you can admit that you listen to the Spice Girls.
It's Friday.
David apparently is a Spice Girl fan. You heard it here first, South Africa. David Higgs is a Spice Girl fan. Okay, Marlene.
It looks delicious.
Marlene, any challenge? Have you had any challenges tonight yet? Is there anything that gave you problems?
That's what I'm saying. It's like people bring like various things. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could make the song.
Okay, we couldn't hear Marlene there for a second because the team who's bringing the broadcast here, we're hearing them in our ears right now. But Marlene seems to be very much in control. Doesn't look like she had any challenges.
I'm loving the idea of that lovely spicy tomato.
Right, something, and that's the other thing you want to judge. Did you do something different?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
she went with the rosti route, which a lot of people would have.
You would have?
I mean, because I didn't know you can just simply put the bloody sweet potato in a pan and just have it like, I mean, now I'm like, why didn't I think of that before? Right, so that's Marlene Reddy, and she seems to be very much cool and calm in the kitchen, busy finishing up her dish. She's gone with very classic flavors, but doing a little spicy something with the tomato as well. I think let's go in with one of the men, Sia Qabanisa, who's somebody we're a little bit concerned about because of his approach to tonight. He opened his box of ingredients at 6 o'clock on the dot, even though they knew what the ingredients was going to be. And you said they could do some pre-prep as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
So
It wasn't purposeful by any means. Please, so don't think I'm trying to brag about my cooking here. Yeah.
And
Listen, the
you
steam
also-
is, there's
I would have
steam
opened up
and there's
my
smoke.
ingredients.
Sorry, I was speaking over you.
And also for
Sorry?
those who've just joined us, Sia had the added problem in that his area was scheduled for load shedding, but he didn't let that stop him. He went and found an Airbnb or a place on one of the booking sites online, and is now cooking from a kitchen that he also doesn't know. So he's really decided, I'm going to take on all the challenges possible. And Sia, tell us what you've decided to do with the ingredients.
So I'm going for a little bit of a stuffed baked potato with a creamy mushroom sauce.
Ooh.
Nice.
Some bacon in there.
Yeah.
I'm going with my potato, to be honest. But and with that, it's going to be accompanied with the fish, plonk a poached egg on the fish,
Yeah.
with a little bit of salsa to
Love
accompany
it.
it.
Love it.
I don't know what that is. I'll call it 5 minutes before the show kicks meal.
But you know, it also sounds like a bit of a regmaker that he's making
No,
there.
no,
eh?
definitely. It's the kind of thing that you definitely want to eat when you're coming home late at night.
And any challenges there? Has it been, is the sweet potato the only thing that's given you problems because you're worried about how long it's going to take to cook, Sia?
No, sorry. I'm doing this. I know you don't like mash, Dave, but I'm doing a puree.
Okay.
That's
No,
my
no, no.
understanding.
No, it's all good. It's all
David,
good.
people
my
have been
understanding.
watching you, eh? They know what you like and what you don't like, right? That's what lockdown has done, right?
I like it.
Yeah.
No, but this man knows what he's doing. Check how he shakes that pan. He's got the tongs, he's got everything. No, he knows. He's happy. I'm happy.
Sia,
These are my tongs for
Listen,
one.
Oaks, there's 20 minutes left, huh?
Sia, you
20
didn't,
minutes.
you've also got a sous chef there. You didn't introduce us to her earlier.
Come. Oh, yeah, my chef, she's the one that runs the blog.
So your blog is the same as your Instagram account called Bold Flavors, and this is where we get to know.
Correct.
This is where we get to know you and your partner and your food.
Yeah, so if I give you some background there, Petiwe also loves cooking. We share the cooking in the house.
Oh, that's so great.
Let's just showcase it on an Instagram and Facebook page, and that's how Bold Flavors was born. But also the main thing, the reason why we call it Bold Flavors is that we like our seasoning. I think it's a small seasoning.
And it's really a South African thing, isn't it? We don't like wishy-washy flavors. Het moet vir jou kom haal. That's what we like. We like that from our wines, and we like that from our flavors, whether it's spicy or like so very savory and that kind of thing. Fantastic.
Exactly.
Sia Kabanisa. Sia, I think, has really come to the party. He's off to the races.
No,
and he's got
unbelievable.
some bold flavors there happening
Unbelievable.
that we're all looking forward to. And according to the clock, we've got 18 minutes left. Our contestants and our viewers, 18 minutes left for them to finish up their plates, put the cloche on it, and send it with Mr. Foodie over to David to judge. So we've heard from Marlene Reddy, we've heard from Sia Kabanisa. Let's go to Sarah Williams now. So Sarah, if you've just joined us, comes from a very interesting background. Her father and her late brother were both chefs. They ran a chef school and a restaurant in the Northern Cape, one of our favorite parts of the world.
Beautiful.
The heart and soul of a very important part to South Africa. And when David has just spent some time on, if you haven't heard, he's just come back from cycling down to Knysna. Yes? You heard us correctly. When people say, I was thinking about a message that was sent out by the very great organization called Gift for the Givers. And at some stage, a few months into lockdown, they said, South Africans, if you can, we need you to give until it hurts. And David, you like blood, sweat and tears on that bicycle trying to raise awareness for the amazing work being done by the Inner City Can Collective, didn't you? And you got to see parts of South Africa that often you just whiz past and you don't really have a time to take it in.
No, and I think, we can talk about it another day, but I mean, I think the beautiful thing with that was that you know that you're doing it for a great cause, but you're also getting to know the country again and the people of the country, So
listen,
it was
and
very
people
special.
who really look out for each other because that's all they have. They
100%.
really, and so a stranger, people who know him as a top chef, there's this guy on a bicycle saying it yellow water. So these are the kinds of stories you told. And if you want to find out more, I mean, yes, he ate a lot of mutton and lamb on that trip. He also ate a lot of cake, which makes me think that maybe cycling is the way to go if you love cake, and you don't want to feel bad about it. Anyway, so while David is finishing up on his dish. He's cooking with the same ingredients as our guest chefs. One of them on your screen right now, taking a big glug of wine. She's my kind of girl. Sarah Williams' kitchen. They're cooking up a storm. Sarah, what have you decided? High fives all around. What have you decided to do with the ingredients for this great brunch that we've got planned? Look how organized she
So
is.
I'm doing fish cakes with
nice.
some pickled mushrooms
Pickled mushrooms.
and
Fancy.
and just get my words right, a tomato bacon jam. Jam
Tomato
chutney
bacon.
kind of thing.
Oops, I'm being done
Macy,
in here.
please.
Hey? I'm being shied here.
Listen, you cannot keep your ever
I'm
with the
gonna
flame that
I'm
you
gonna put the lid on this thing. I'm embarrassed.
Listen, this
Amazing,
Oh,
Sarah.
I've got one thing, and an avocado aioli.
Whoa.
What did she say?
Avocado aioli.
And what are you calling this amazing creation?
I don't know. It has swear words in it, so I don't think I can say it.
No, you can.
No,
Go
you
for
can
it.
say it. It's fine.
Amazing.
Say effing amazing.
I love it. My
Listen-
kind of dish.
But listen, what I'm intrigued by is that you managed to do a little chutney or jam in such a short space of time. Is it a family recipe or something that you've made before?
It's not well. You say a family recipe. My dad used to bring home piles and piles of cherry tomatoes, and he was like, "We can't let this go to waste, so you need to make something with it." And I was
Yes.
like, "Okay, cool. Jam." Big.
I like it.
Yeah, so I've made a lot of jams in my life.
Yeah.
Separately a quick one. Yeah, it'll be good though.
So listen, there's basically 15 minutes left. Please make sure that the dishes are all plated and ready to go. And
She
and
looks like she's fine.
have another sip of wine.
She's like, Mr. Foodie can come. The jam is ready. The pickled mushrooms.
I'm loving that the dishes are all so different. You know, this is
Listen,
going to be.
people
And
are bringing
remember,
their A game.
yeah, and remember that you guys can get the guys that are watching can actually get these recipes.
Oh yes.
Eh? So you must talk about that.
Oh, of course. So the recipes that are being made, is it just your recipes or their recipes as well?
All 5 recipes
Oh,
are
wow.
available after the show.
So what you can do, we've been talking a lot about the great work being done by the Inner City Can Collective. And on the screen throughout the show, you'd have seen a QR code that would have appeared. And you can very easily just hover your smartphone, just open up the camera. Even I've figured out how to do it. And I'm not very good with these things. If you hover your camera phone, you open it up and you hover it over the QR scan, you can immediately donate to the Inner City Can Collective, doing amazing work. Just go onto social media to read more about what they're doing there. In the parts of Johannesburg that many people would say, you know, let's just give up, you know, and yet there are wonderful families who live their lives there, who've got a community there, and the Inner City Can Collective are doing a fantastic work trying to bring light and empowerment to the
Absolutely.
community that needs it most there.
Perfect.
So you can go
Who's
onto
left?
so you can do the QR scan of that, and then like David just mentioned, if you're interested in some of the recipes that you're going to see during this hour, from next week you can go onto Quicket. And you can actually purchase the recipes, and the funds raised from the purchasing of those recipes will go to the work of the Inner City Can Collective. And I mean,
we've got bacon and 50 Rand for all 5 recipes. And I mean, already we've got bacon jams, we've got spicy tomato
got
sauces,
pickled
we've
mushrooms,
got pickled mushrooms.
we've got-
all these recipes are available.
we've got the avocado that David put a flame on.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean,
Yeah,
you know,
the bacon.
I mean, that's a flaming avocado. It's a little bit of a departure from a flaming Lamborghini.
No, it is, thankfully.
So you can purchase that, and like we said, that's just another easy way where you get something in return, but at the same time, you're donating to a very important cause like the Inner City Can Collective. We've got one more person to check in with.
Nigel.
Nigel's in. You know, before Roodepoort starts, getting a
Throwing
little
the stones.
oproerig because we forgot to cross them. Nigel Zinn is in Roodepoort in Weltevreden Park, and he had his whole family involved. His wife was doing the heavy lifting with a glass of wine next to him. So we need to find out from Nigel what he's decided to do. And we heard from him earlier, and he was telling us about how, unfortunately, retrenchment is something that has visited so many households in the country over the last few months, and he didn't let that stop him. He's decided to start a little food business from home where they put together great meals that people can purchase and have in their homes. Nigel, what did you decide to do with the ingredients tonight?
Listen, before we get to that, I want to say, retrenchment and all that kind of stuff, that's all serious. But this is light and fun, and I must admit, I've loved this. This is really good. It's amazing how quickly an hour can go.
Amazing.
David, you'll know in the restaurant industry, 10 minutes is a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So an hour has gone by in a flash. To backtrack a little bit, there was mention of crocs Yes.
There you see?
Best thing in the kitchen.
No,
man.
Nigel,
Best
you
thing
just
in the
lost 10 points, my friend.
No.
No.
Dave, come on. But,
So you can go for a few more hours.
yes. But I just want to show you what pressure does. This is one of my croissants. Bug it up. But I've made a plan. You're still going to eat croissant, Dave. Dave, what's in the box?
It's char-grilled croissant.
No.
But I won't give
Okay, so what did you do?
the char-grilled one.
Nigel,
But, yeah.
what name your dish. Okay, start now. Name your
Before
dish.
we get to that, I'm going to ask you a question. In your restaurant, Marble, are you really using those the coal-fired grills, or do you actually just use the George Foreman grill? Come on, be honest.
Or the microwave.
Nigel, you're getting cheeky now.
That's
You just lost
insulting,
another
that-
10 points, my friend.
Tell us what you made. Stop stalling. Tell us what you made and what
all
you're
right,
going to
I'm
call
doing
it.
Is, it's a gnocchi. It's the smoked kipper gnocchi with a bit of spring onion, a little bit of chili, so a little bit of zing in that. It's got a bit of a zest as well. It's going in a
Smoked
nice
kipper gnocchi, did you say?
tomato-based sauce with basil. I've used the rashes in there as well. What else have I done? The poached egg, obviously. And what I'm doing is with the croissant is a bit of like a crostini with an avo, tomato.
With a different croissant.
and-
With a different croissant. Or this,
Char-grilled croissant.
a very different one. And then crispy bacon over the top with, I've actually done it similar to you. I didn't watch you while you did yours, but I've caramelized it with sugar. That's actually how we have our bacon on the weekends with the kids. I love that saltiness with the sweetness. And that's what I'm doing. Hopefully it arrives at your place in one piece.
And what are you going to call it?
Pooping my Brooks, not risotto, gnocchi.
Pooping my crocs, more like it.
yeah, nice. Guys, listen, we have got just over 9 minutes left. Please make sure that the dishes are ready. Mr. Fasty, is it Mr. Fasty?
Mr. Foodie.
Oh, Mr. Foodie,
Enough
who's
of
going to
the-
be fast.
Enough of the mum, and the new beginnings that mum brings with
Okay,
it.
so Mr. Foodie is going to be outside at 7 o'clock and he's going to be ready to bring me the plate. So please, guys, you've got little over 9 minutes, 9 minutes, 14 seconds to get it done.
Listen, David, they've kind of blown me away, haven't they? I mean, it takes me back to a conversation, when you said when you started welcoming people into your kitchen when lockdown started, a coping mechanism for many has been the kitchen. And you said, people would send you photos of the food that they've done. And it was, what are we going to do here? My mense try.
Yeah.
And a few months down the line, you were saying, but you could see a big improvement in people's
Absolutely.
cooking.
Yep.
And I mean, look, some
And
of
the questions that you can see it immediately with the questions that people ask, So, and the questions get more and more complicated, and you can see that people are paying attention, and they love, as I said, the
People love
interaction
learning
is,
as well, right?
For sure. So, can I quickly talk you through what I did?
Please, because I mean, I'm not going to say that what you've done is not impressive, but
I mean, it's
you've
not
got
bad.
some competition coming your way at 7 o'clock. Though.
Stop it! Yeah, gnocchi, kipper gnocchi. Eh?
Listen,
Tomato and bacon jam. I mean, come on.
tomato and bacon jam
Guys,
and pickled
unbelievable,
mushrooms.
Unbelievable job. Pickled mushrooms.
And the spicy tomato thing, and see us doing the creamy mushrooms in the potato and the... I know who to call if I'm hungover one day.
100%. So listen, everybody, just before I talk through that, so this is essentially what everybody's got. So they've got this plate, obviously that we've got, and then they've got the cloche that it then gets. So this is how it comes to us, and they have to take a picture of this before it gets to us. So yeah. It's all kind of complicated, but quite easy as well.
And I've always thought, saying the word cloche is quite fancy.
It is quite fancy.
We're not here to mess around. If you can put a cloche on your plate of food, then it must be,
More of a cake kind of vibe.
That's why I asked you.
Nice for scones.
Do you call that a cloche when it's made of plastic?
No, it's fine.
And then you said, no, it is a cloche.
Listen, okay, so very quickly, I've just done a fresh tomato with fresh basil with a poached egg. So as you cut into that poached egg, that lovely fresh soft yolk will then create the sauce. The bacon, as I said, or this is actually the pork belly rashes that it's got that sweet and very spicy from the chili. Sweet potato, the natural sweetness of the sweet potato. The mushroom that's been cooked with a fresh thyme and garlic, it's already, and then the nice caramelized, not burnt, not flaming, the caramelized,
With a bit of paprika on it.
Caramelized.
Paprika dusted Caramelized avocado.
Avocado. So there's a very simple dish, but beautifully. One of the things that upsets me the most when I get to breakfast, okay, other than overcooked eggs and so forth, because I know that eggs are tricky, but it's always so morsig. You know, it's like always,
Alles op 'n bord.
yeah, it's everything on a plate. Like you can with breakfast, it can be a fine dining dish. You know, and this is absolutely. I mean, in my own opinion, I mean, it's not bad, Marcel.
No, it's pretty. and also, in your opinion, we know brunch has been a big thing that's gone through the world as a wave of new things,
Yeah.
along with people becoming obsessed with smashed avocado toast.
Yeah.
But the brunch thing has taken off in South Africa as
Massive.
well. But I feel like we've been doing it all along. It just wasn't called brunch.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean,
Yeah.
if you're able to sleep in on a Saturday or Sunday,
Yeah.
you know, you're not gonna. Well, maybe not a Sunday because you know Sunday lunch is a big deal as well.
for
But
sure.
a Saturday brunch, I mean, especially for the younger South Africans, it's really become almost like a lifestyle thing,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
No,
you know?
it is. No, without a doubt. And okay, so
So that's what you've come up with. Our
Yes.
contestants we've now heard from, they've come up with some really fancy out there combinations, but
we've
they
got
sound
5
amazing.
minutes left, guys.
And we've got our viewers who are watching as we speak, all connected on social media. What would be nice to find out is who they think is going to win. So we've got there at the top, we've got Marlene Reddy. Below her, we've got Sarah Williams. We've got Sia Trabanisa, who's third from the top. And we've got Nigel Zinn. This is now, reminds me of those countdown clocks on other shows. They've got 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
That's it.
Finishing touches being put to it. So why don't our viewers let us know on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, or wherever you're watching on YouTube. Tell us who you think is going to win. And you can see the party is getting going, and a lot of the Marlene Reddy's partner definitely thinks that she should win. And she's there. Oh, look at that. He's just hoping that he gets some of that tomato salsa, if you know what spicy tomato salsa, if you know what I mean. You know. So let us know who you think is going to win, because goodness me, we've come up with some fantastic combinations. And we'll try and see if we can get any of those comments on. And remember, once David does the judging on Monday, he'll be announcing who the winners are. And then we'll hopefully also let you know who are going to be the next contestants for next Friday's show as well. And can you believe we've got 4 minutes, 20 seconds left of the inaugural episode.
I know.
Of hashtag David Higgs, hashtag Cooking for a Cause, all in aid of the Inner City Can Collective.
Have there been any questions, guys? Look, behind the scenes, guys. Have there been any questions? Anybody? What sort of feedback are we getting? Are we?
Other than Nigel wanting to know
Listen,
if you use a George Foreman grill in your
I keep
restaurant.
looking into the corner of my kitchen there and thinking,
you think it's a
who's in the
spork?
wedding dress?
It's a spork.
Vitro.
As well.
Okay.
Okay,
So there we go.
This is what David has made. Let's see if we can get that camera shot. Right next to you can see Nigel's dish there as well, and not
Oh
the
yeah,
burnt.
Nigel. Let's have a look.
Not the burnt croissant that he showed us earlier. He showed us some of his blupsies as well. So he's very
Nice. Look at that poached egg.
Listen.
Nigel, on the money, my friend.
Listen, if you eat a brunch like that, you're not going to see lunchtime. Dan gaan jy slaap.
Well, we want to sleep after brunch.
That
that's for
is
sure.
going to be, that is
I'm
what
so
do they call
impressed,
that?
guys.
That's going to
1
bring on
hour,
the
huh?
itis. Yeah.
1 hour.
1 hour. 3.5 minutes to go. He's ready to go. He's ready to put the cloth. Remember, our contestants have to take a photo of your dish before you put the cloche on and give it to I'm going to say Dr. Foodie. Mr. Foodie, before it is brought to David for judging.
Cheers, Nigel. Good job. Who's next? Who else have we got? Who's plating?
What is? Oh, she's taking a photo.
Marlene.
Marlene.
Let's have a look at the plate.
Marlene with perfectly done manicures and pedicures and drinking champagne like a trooper from the beginning. That's her dish.
Look at that.
So she's taken a...
Beautiful. Did you blend the sauce? Is that the sauce on the side there?
Yeah, so I actually blended the onion and the tomato before I made the sauce, so it's already...
Oh, okay. Perfect. 2.5 minutes, guys. That's Marlene's dish.
So Marlene's taken a photo of it and she's going to put the cloche on it, and Mr. Foodie's going to pick it up and bring it here to David's house in Johannesburg for judging.
I'm so hungry. Sarah. Where's Sarah?
Or is it Sia?
No, I don't know.
Oh, no, it's Sarah. There's Sarah.
There we go, there's
There
Sarah.
we go. Sarah's going to show us. I mean, Sarah came up with some great combinations, didn't she,
I'm
David?
telling you. Yo.
Oh, there we go. She's got the pickled mushroom. She's got the poached egg. She also told us about the jam that she's made.
Avo aioli.
The avo aioli.
So let's just throw the span in the works here. Sarah, we just hope there's not too many flavors on the plate. Okay, devil's advocate. Okay, looks very impressive.
And don't forget to take a photo, Sarah.
Put the cloche on. Guys, we've got 1 minute 40 seconds. Sia, where's Sia?
I don't even know Sia knows where he is.
No, Sia doesn't even know.
Sia is cooking for us because there's load shedding where his house is. He's cooking for us from a place that he booked in Rosebank for business purposes, of course.
Look at that. Sia, my friend, on the money.
That's that creamy mushroom on a spud. I mean, you cannot go wrong, can you? And look at it. Look at the technique, David.
Hey?
Look at the technique in the pan.
My friend.
He's showing off now, no?
You know what that's called? Okay, it's just basting it with a bit of butter there.
Afshouwen sele in Afrikaans.
Sia,
Sia, you need to get moving. You've got a minute left. You need to plate up, take that photo, and put the cloche on top of it as we speak.
1 minute left, guys.
Are
1 minute.
Are you feeling good about your time? What do you still need to do, Sia?
I just need to cook the fish and take out my overcooked poached egg.
Oh!
Don't tell us that, my friend. Don't tell us that.
Okay.
Okay, you've got 40 seconds to get that kipper in your plate, to get the overcooked egg on the plate, take a photo, put the cloche on it, and make sure. I wonder if Mr. Foodie is even going to decide to bring the food to you.
No, I'm actually concerned about the same thing.
Whoever is working for Mr. Foodie tonight is going to have to really face down the temptation to ensure that these plates get there. Listen, these guys just look so cool.
20 seconds, guys. 20 seconds, and that's basically all over the first show. Honestly, just take a photo, guys. Remember
to take your photo. And our viewers, if you've now seen what their plates look like, go onto the social media. They're taking photos of the wine.
I know.
In the Zin household, there in Rodepoort.
Yeah.
Like only Rodepoorters can.
Time is up, everybody. Well done.
There we go.
Well done. Time is up.
What do they say in the classics? Plates down, tools down.
Tools down.
Take
Step
the
away
photo,
from the.
Put the cloche on. Come now, guys. Sia, let's go. Let's put the cloche. You see, Sarah is busy putting the cloche in the box.
Guys, get it into the box. Here we go.
Oh,
excellent.
Look at the overachiever. Marlene's wrapped it up as well. She's
nice.
not taking anything for granted as well. Right.
Yes, guys are running out the house.
Well done. Well done.
Into the boxes.
Look at
Loving this.
Bold flavors.
Good job, Sia.
Bold flavors with Sia. So now, David, the rest is now up to you. Those plates are going into the boxes, being delivered to your household here.
Yeah.
Jy moet maar nou alles proe. You've gotten a sense of the personalities in the kitchen, what went into their thinking. There we have it. Urban Direct.
Coming straight to us.
From Marlene. She's handed it over. David is going to judge those plates based on all of the components that we mentioned. Sarah is busy on the phone.
Sarah's on the phone. What's going on?
And David, you are then going to announce the winners on Monday on social
On Monday,
media.
guys, so basically we are done for the first episode. On Monday, we are going to cross over. I'll do the tasting right now. Come right in. I'm going to taste the food, and we are going to then
and you're going to judge
announce the winners on Monday.
And that's going to be something to look forward to, and hopefully by then we'll also know who's going to take part in our next competition. I hope that this is not going to mean that you're going to think, wait a minute, I need to make this a bit more difficult because these guys were far too cool and calm. Have you already thought about next week's ingredients?
We are sorted. We are sorted.
And of course, just to remind people, I mean, we're not just doing this without any partners behind us. I mean, we've got fantastic food partners that is making possible for you to set out this challenge all in aid of Inner City Can Collective. Who are they very quickly before we go?
Okay, so obviously we've got Argo Stoves.
Yes.
That are 100% Seattle Coffee Company. We've got
the Food Lovers Eatery.
Food Lovers Eatery.
And then on top of that, we've got Fatties and Monies, their premium brand, Bellissima. And then on top of that, your wonderful food partners who have made all the ingredients possible.
100%. And they're involved for the whole way through. We'll be choosing, obviously, our new contestants. So, yeah, there we go. I've spoken enough.
That's the first episode of the David Higgs # Cooking for a Cause, all in aid of the Inner City Can Collective. Go on to David's social media pages. You'll see there's QR codes all the time for you to donate to them. Or from next week on Quicket, you'll be able to purchase all of the recipes that you've seen being dished up tonight. And you can purchase that for an amount that will go straight to the Inner City Can Collective. Our first episode done.
100%.
I don't know, are we going to have the energy for next week?
We got.
So, this is what you can expect next Friday as well. I'm not going to say it's going to be more organized because I'm sure it won't. I can't wait to see
If
what
it's going to
David.
be more organized, I'm going to be upset. So.
I can't wait to see what David's going to wear next, and more importantly, what he's going to expect our contestants to dish up for us next Friday. But be sure to keep an eye on all of David's social media pages so that you know what to expect come next Friday. And so,
the last thing is to say thank you to Olga, Food Lovers Eatery, Fatty's and Moni's, and Seattle. Thanks so very much, guys. And remember, 8 o'clock, cocktail hour with Dave and George.
You're on your own. I'm out of here. Bye.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks very much.
Okay, are we going to taste this now?
Bellissimo. Fatty's and Moni's.
When life inspires you to create, Bellissimo will give you the freedom to. Introducing the new premium quality pasta range from Fatty's and Moni's. Bravo to you.